Hey, I'm Peter, and this is Lifestyle Leap. We also work with millennial coaching. We work with Elevate Entrepreneurship, and there's a couple of other projects we're putting together. Right now, though, this is sort of my first, I'll call it my intro podcast about um, this journey that we're taking, that I'm taking with some of you down the road of improving your life. One of the things that, as we were talking about this format, how do we do it? I think we're still working that out some. I mean, but that's okay because, these things, the first episode is not indicative of the whole series necessarily. And the end of the series, hopefully we build up in quality and listenership as we go. Uh, but I thought, there's no better way to start than just starting off at the beginning. And I think where I want to start is where you'd want to start. Why do I want to coach you? Why do you want to be coached or mentored by me? So we put together some questions that you might ask of me or our team. There's a couple of us who are going to be, coming in and out of this, and I'm working with some different people based on the expertise that they've shown in the industries of military, human resources, business, consulting, financial, and lifestyle and travel. I mean, we want to be able to have the fun in life, and we want to be able to tackle the tough stuff. And certainly there are things that challenge us every day in our lives. And that's what really got me to say, okay, I'm going to go mic hot today and open this up. And so it should be, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes or so of me just chatting, and hopefully, and a lot of the future episodes, you won't just see or hear my voice, but the voice of some guests that I'm bringing in to help you get through the things that you've got, whether you're just, the regular old, like me, everyday person who doesn't have a job. I'm retired. So at some point we'll get to my biography, but I've got time now to give back to many years of the people who gave to me. So I'm going to jump right in. First question. I'm going to ask the questions of me as if you were asking of me. So if these aren't your questions, you can hit the subscribe button somewhere in there, like this video, and shoot me the questions that you have, and we'll come back and we'll answer those. And hopefully in the form of a newsletter, a chat group, or something, we build some momentum that invites other people in to hear what you have to say, because sometimes your problem is actually solved because somebody else asked it. So the first question: how can Lifestyle Leap coaching help me achieve my personal goals and improve my overall well-being? Really great question. Wished I had asked it. So what is your overall well-being right now? If you were to say on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? And that is in your personal goals, your professional goals. So let's take everything in 1 to 10. So me, my personal goals, maybe I'm a 6. My professional goals, maybe I'm an 8 or a 9, because I've already achieved, the Zen retirement. In my health and well-being, maybe I'm at a 5, because I figured, I'm about halfway to where I think I want to be. So that's just 3 right there. So I take, an 8 and a 6, just for example, and a 5, and that's 19 divided by 3. I'm at a 6 point something overall. So do your own wellness score. Put the categories in that are most important to you. Try to pick like 5. So I'm like health, finances, mental health, because physical health and mental health, I think you could separate those, right? So health, physical, mental, financial, career, personal life, family life. That's just 5, and you can pick any 5 you want to, and then do a score of 1 to 10 on those. And maybe later I'll put out a more structured set of 5 things for anybody who's trying to figure out, well, what are my 5 things? And then you take those and your numbers 1 to 10, and you divide by the number and get your average, and that's your average, and that's where you're at. Now you could be a 10 in something. You could be a 10 in your finances. Absolutely 750 score, got money in the bank, IRA, 401k, great salary, have your house bought and paid for, cars, no debt, everything's perfect. You could be a 10. But yet you could be dealing with some very serious personal issues, family issues, professional issues that can take your number down. So even though you have everything you want financially, you don't have what you want in terms of some other very important part of your life. And I think what I can do for you for sure is listen and help you understand how to focus. And it's not for nothing. I mean, I've been through, Dr. Heal Yourself. I'm not a therapist, but I've been through, some therapy. I am a veteran, disabled veteran, and through the many things that you deal with in the military, for example, and in life, there are sometimes some lasting mental health issues, and you want to go get those dealt with. And so I'm not here to do mental health work with you, but just to talk about how you can improve the day-to-day, right? So personal goals, improve your overall well-being, the overall number. And whatever number it's at, we'll talk about how to get it from the 5 to the 6, from the 7 to the 9, because that's your choice. It's our choice to choose that. So that was the first question. How can Lifestyle Leap coaching help me achieve my personal goals? So number 2 is, what strategies do you offer to help balance family commitments while pursuing personal growth through leadership, through Lifestyle Leap? So I hate to say the old cliche, been there, done that, got a t-shirt, but again, I was in the military, which is a 24/7 job, takes you away from your family. When I left that, I went into public service, went to school, working 2 jobs, 1 day, 1 night, going to school in between, trying to raise my children at the same time while trying to pursue improvement on my career. How do you do it? That's what we can talk about. It can be very stressful, but it's a 1 day at a time thing. And I think if we learn certain, I don't want to call them tricks, let's say they're just certain tactics and certain ways to skew and help you measure that in a way that it doesn't just drag you down, then I think that's a win. So the strategies are tailor-made to you. There are some very basic strategies that, if you look at the 7 habits of highly effective people, that's sort of my foundation. That's one of the courses that I used to teach, and they are principles. So the principles of effectiveness and the roots of effectiveness are the strategies that we focus on, with a twist that helps it work for you. So, and that's question 3, can you provide insight on managing finances effectively and making wise money decisions as part of your coaching? Yeah, it's easy. Save your money. No, I've got personal financial coaches, and I would recommend that anybody who's looking at changing and fixing their finances to get a coach. And so you may need a coach to help unravel where you're at, and you might need another coach to help you get to the goals that you're setting. And it sort of just depends on where you are in that. And so, yes, can we provide insights on managing it? Absolutely. I mean, I have friends with, and I associate with, people who are in the financial management world, insurances, savings, investments, and all of that. So there's absolutely no shortage, but I do have a team of people that I would absolutely recommend for you to help you get in front of your finances. Question number 4 is, how does Lifestyle Leap coaching address business-related challenges and help entrepreneurs or business professionals succeed? I wouldn't be sitting here and trying to offer information or tips for things that I haven't done on my own. So while I was that transitioning service member, going to school nights, working two jobs, one at day and one at night, somewhere in there, I started freelancing. I was a freelance teacher. And then I started my own business with my then wife. And that was a seven-figure, well, people like to throw figures out there, business. At least it had the potential to be that. And part of that ended with a very difficult, and I'll get into that in a different episode, um, with a lot of lessons learned that could have been learned up front. So one of the I will give you this analogy, and then you can take it and you can decide whether or not you think I'm somebody you want to continue the conversation with. So a good friend of mine, and a business coach, said, because I was in the restaurant business and I didn't know much about food. I mean, I was a what do you call, a short order. I did some short order cook work, um, and did some, outdoor festivals and things like that in the world of barbecue. But opening up a food establishment, there's some other things you need to know about. And what this coach said to me was, there's some really great Italian recipes and great Italian cooks. That's why you see so many Italian restaurants. But why, if the food is so good, are they closing? Because they don't know about business. They know everything about the Italian kitchen and nothing about profit and loss. And that was the eye opener. So I began to understand and then, immerse myself in how to keep the business going, beyond just the good recipes. And so, yes, there's some absolute do's and don'ts for entrepreneurs getting started, whether it's in the, whatever industry you're talking about. There's just some blocks you have to check. My 100 years ago, my school degree was in business and finance, business and management. So, and organizational theory. So there's a lot of strategy that is put to work with that, but it has to be right sized for you. So yeah, can we do that? Absolutely can. We can address the entrepreneur's business and the path to success. Number 5, in what ways can your coaching support my career development and advancement? What tools do you provide for this? So now we're in the professional, right? We're talking about career. I was once upon a time a job assistant, the job search assistant for a contractor for the Department of Veterans Affairs. And so my job was to take people who were coming out of the vocational rehabilitation program. I did this for a little while, and help them tweak their resume and go search for jobs, prepare them for an interview, and and that was part of the measure of success at the end of the program. So on top of that, I've probably hired in excess of 200 people in just the last 15 years before retiring. So I've sat in a lot of interviews. I've written a lot of interview criteria. I've helped quite a few people navigate the career ladder, particularly in public service. But really, who you are and where you're doing it is what really counts. So it's what you're bringing to the table. So yeah, there are things that I would absolutely tell you to do and absolutely tell you not to do. But then again, we live by choice, so you get to make your own decisions about what we say, and that's fine. Tools that we provide also go back into success principles, right? So highly effective people on the road to success all share some very similar attributes and values. And so that's where we keep it right. I will keep it right in the lines on that. again, tailoring it to where you are in your situation. It's not cookie cutter. I think we'll do some group stuff. We'll have some group events and group chats and maybe Facebook and who knows where else we'll go live or recorded sessions and like this and YouTube. But yeah, can we tailor it for you? Absolutely. What tools will we provide? There'll be there'll be maybe some standard tools, but also something that we create together, you and I, to help you understand, because it's diagnosed before you prescribe. I can't prescribe you medicine. I don't know what's wrong. So first of all, we have to sit down and figure out what's going on with you, what you're trying to do. I'm not going to sit here and promise you, a salary of X or this many leads for your business. There's ways that I've learned to do it, and there's ways that you may have learned to do it. And then we'll talk about maybe a mesh of that and help you get to the goals that you're setting for yourself. So the next question was, and this would be like number 6 already, how does your coaching specifically cater to veterans, and what unique insights or support can they expect to receive? I'm adding in something again, right? Questions 1 through 5, nothing that I haven't personally done. No place that I haven't personally been. So I've been to the end of these roads, most of them, and I've left a lot of blood on the way. So my life as a veteran is now in its almost 28th year or something like that. So go back 28 years to the day I became a veteran after leaving military service. And the navigation of, rehabilitation for my vocation, getting a job, getting a federal position, growing up in that life and in that tree, understanding the retirement, battling with the VA for benefits for 25 years until I was awarded 100% disabled. So can I tell you what it takes to get there? I absolutely can. Can I get you there? That's a whole nother story. But if you're a veteran and you're struggling with a lot of veterans issues, I've certainly been exposed to a lot of the programs that provide help and how to use them. And I've been doing that for veterans for free for a long time. So it's something that's just a part of what I want to do to give back for this. It's giving back to a lot of the people, honestly, who gave to me. And there's even more of them who never got their just deserved. And I mean that in a good way. So real moment here, the VA has a reputation of trying to get you to go away until you stop coming at them or you die. That is a terrible, terrible thought or analogy or belief to have about them. Unfortunately, there's not that much evidence to prove it's not true in terms of getting benefits. Now, getting service, and when you're in with a group, once you've been approved to get something, that may be different, and your mileage may vary depending on what state you live in and what VA you're dealing with. But yeah, it's something I'm definitely qualified to talk to you about, and how we can navigate the VA system. So number 8 is, what is the typical structure of a coaching session, and how often would you schedule sessions to ensure content progress? Listen, it's got to be something that we're talking about weekly. So either you're coming to a group weekly and we're doing some one-on-one stuff. It could be a 30-minute call every week. Now we're talking into some dedicated time, one-on-one time, probably talking about some paid coaching at that point. But you know what? Let's get there. Let's first see if what this conversation that we can have with each other is something that you want or need, or if I'm the right one to provide it for you, right? So and how we customize, so weekly, right? Some kind of weekly engagement. So how would I customize my coaching approach to meet the unique needs of each client? That's just a discussion. That is a roles and goals discussion, where you are, that little 1 to 10 list of how you feel you're doing in life. And then we sort of put together with each other a plan to get you on the track you want to be on towards the results you want to get. I've got a lot of experience in mentoring. I've got a lot of experience in leadership and coaching. Not new to this game at all, other than doing it in this format. It was a part of my life 30 years going back. So there's nothing really new under the sun here. Um, the the next question was, what resources or materials do you offer to supplement the coaching experience and help clients continue their growth and journey beyond the sessions? Well, that's follow up, right? So that is if I was your therapist, we would have our sessions weekly. We would then check in. There's some training that we would develop, and you will go through. You complete the training, and then we do some follow up, and then we have a group that is sort of the survivor group that talks about how to sustain, because there's a couple of different ways when we're talking about development of self, right? There's this initial thing, is understanding the assessment. What are your needs? So what is the needs assessment of this? And then we start to develop the right plan. And then if there's training, then the right curriculum or the right courses or the right book to read. Then we may do book reading. There's a lot of different options on the table still. And I think the group dynamic will drive some of that, and the individual requirements will drive the rest. I've been coached by some of the best I think that the world has to offer, in and out of the military. I think hands down, I've been the beneficiary of some pretty freaking amazing coaches, and their stories are now sort of mine to share, because they were so good to and for me. So there's a lot of different materials that we can do beyond. I'm going to go back to the entrepreneur side of it, because, in this, diet, exercise, health, supplements, mood, there's so many different things that can positively impact our well-being. As individuals and as part of a group. So I think, and I know we've got my team of folks that I'm working with. I've got an entrepreneur group that I'm working with to build the skills of entrepreneurs, and this came from an idea of a gentleman back in Vegas who I met very randomly. It wasn't any kind of company or business or anything event. It was more of a random meeting. And his concept of a micro solo entrepreneurs boot camp that wasn't tied to any particular organization. So, this is like for you at the end, if you're in that kind of business model, it could be your own coaching business. It could be affiliate marketing, network marketing, your own sales stores, econ, whatever it is you're doing. Most of those things require the trust of people that you're connecting with. And so one of the things that I'm sure that we'll get into is how to connect with people the right way. And not be caught on the bullet train that goes nowhere. A lot of people come into, whether it was, I've been in the restaurant business, I've been in the teaching business, I've been in the trucking business, I've been in professional public service, and now I'm getting into this, taking it all and combining it. And I'll tell you, the mistakes that you can make in any one of those verticals or those niches you can make anywhere. And it's not about the industry as much it is about you understanding where you need to go with it. So that's that for now. And what I want you to do is, again, if you like it, subscribe or continue to follow. We'll be back here and we'll have more discussions about what success looks like. And follow my 1 minute strongs on social media to talk about, the lifestyle leap. And that's about putting your things together and taking a jump. See you soon.